Hi there everybody, this is Peter from We Build Your Business. Today I wanted to do a short video for you just on one aspect of helping you get your website shown in the Google search results, and that's about the importance of three tags which you can see in the source code of your website, and those are the title, the description and the keywords, and you won't see them on the page when you look at your website, but if you examine the code which makes up your website, you should or will find them there, because a website is not just what you see on the page. I'm looking at one now. I just selected it at random from Google. I put the keywords dog training in Google and it returned results to me. I clicked down to about page 8 and selected a website. Hopefully no one out there owns this website, though it's relatively representative of what you find. So it's a perfectly good website. It's named 4pawscaninetraining.com.au, and when you have a look at it, it looks reasonably nice. But unfortunately, when it comes to the performance of websites, having a look at it and just judging how nice it looks isn't necessarily all there is to it. So we'll just have a look at a few little things here today. So to find the code that goes into making up the website, and I should say here that what you're looking at there in a website is not how it's constructed. A website is constructed of code, and it is the job of your browser, whether it be Firefox or Chrome or Internet Explorer or another browser. It's the job of your browser to render that code into what you see there. But in fact, Google doesn't see what we're looking at here. Google sees the code that goes into making up the website. So to see that code, you right click and you'll see view page source or something like that, depending on the browser you're in, and if you click that, you will then see what goes into making up the website. So we'll have a look at those three things which you can or should see in the code of the website, and the first of these is the title. And as you can see, it's quite difficult to find anything in there, and so a little trick which I can suggest to you is you hit Control and F on your keyboard and you'll see this little box pop up at the top. You put your word in there and it will find the word on the page for you, and this is a handy little thing to know when you're looking at any long page. If you're looking at something in particular and you know the words you're looking for, then you can do this to find them. So you put that there and you click the down arrow and it will show you all instances of the title. Now this is the one we want. This is the main title of the web page, and there it is there, 4 Paws Canine Training, and you can see it's reasonably long. When Google is trying to decide what a website is about, it looks at a whole bunch of things, but one of the most important things that Google looks at when it's examining a website is what the title is. Now remember that Google isn't a human being. They don't have people sitting out there looking at all the dog training websites trying to decide which one's the best one and then ranking them all in order. Google, as far as the ranking of websites goes, is purely a piece of software. It's called the Google bot, and it spends its day trawling around the internet, reading websites and trying to decide firstly what they're about, and secondly where it should put them in the search results. And it must be pretty boring existence for a Google bot, but that's exactly what it does. And so for the Google bot to decide what the website is about, it needs to read the code. It can't look at the pictures, it can't look at what the website looks like, it can only read the code. Now it can't see images, so if you have lots of pretty images about dogs and dog training, Google bot doesn't even see that. As I say, it reads the code behind the website. So you can see there, the title is there, which is good. There are some websites which don't have a title at all. The problem with this one is that it's too long, and I'll show you the problem with that. If we go back to where I found the website on the web page, you can see it's down here. Now there's the website there. Now the title of the page is what shows where I've got that highlighted, and as you can see above, Google will show one line and that's it. If the title is longer than that, all of the rest will get left off, and so the title in the case of this one is too long. I'm not sure why they've shown some but not all for the line, but the title is way too long. You should limit yourself to about 5 or 6 words. The other thing to remember is that you should have some idea of some important keywords which relate to your website. Put them in the title, but also you should be writing a really catchy, interesting title that will get people to click on that, because when people see this, they will be presented with a page of search results, and your search result might be there, but if you've got an uninteresting title that doesn't capture the attention of the viewer, then even if your search result is there, they're not so likely to click on it. So you need to spend some time crafting a good title, 5 or 6, 7 words maximum, that describes your website, has some important keywords in there, and also when a viewer comes along to look in the search results, it grabs their attention and is going to encourage them to click on that search result. Now, one of the problems I commonly see with titles is that people will put homepage in the title. And remember, I said Google will look at various things on the page, the title being one of them. If your title says homepage, then Google thinks your website is about homepage, and so it won't have any idea from the title that your website is about dog training. So there's several reasons for you why it's very important to get a good title. So we'll go back and have a look. So there's the title, and you can see it's a bit too long and probably doesn't have a very catchy phrase in it to get people to click. Now the next thing I mentioned was the description, and so we'll have a look, and here is the description, and at least has a description. A lot of websites don't, and along with the title, Google uses the description to determine what the website is about. Now in this case, however, I don't know how that got there, but there is the description, and it's just a symbol. There is no description there, and that's a problem, because that is one of the important things that Google uses to have a look at what the website is about. So we need a description for that reason, and we also need a description for this reason. Underneath the title, which is there, you have this. Now Google will usually draw that from the description. Not always, it will vary, but Google will usually draw that from the description. Now you need to have a catchy description with some relevant keywords in there. For the same reason you need a catchy title, because if people are sufficiently interested to read your title, they will often read the description, and for the same reason they need to be compelled when reading your description to click through to your website. Otherwise, getting it into the first page of Google doesn't have much effect. So we'll go back to the source code now. We've talked about title and description, and the third one that we need to talk about is keywords. And keywords are words which are relevant to your website, because when the Googlebot is looking at your website, it can only look at the text to determine what it's about, and keywords are the most important words which relate to what your website's about. And so the keywords will tell Google what your website is about. And again, you can see here is the tag for keywords, and the content is 4 paws canine training. That's the keywords they have in there. How they seem to have some extraneous commas, I don't know why that is, but at the end of the day, that is really not an adequate description of keywords. It's just the name of the site, whereas there could be all sorts of good keywords in there, such as dog training, dog obedience, dog training school, dog obedience school. You should limit yourself, not put too many in, because Google doesn't like to see hundreds and hundreds, but you should have keywords in there, and not only just in there, but sprinkled throughout the text on your page. So there's a little information about the importance of title and description and keywords on your website. There is one other thing which I will mention as well. A lot of websites have a lot of images on them, and there's nothing wrong with images, but what people tend to forget is that Google can't see an image. And I've just pulled up an image here. There is an image. If you click it, you'll get shown the image. So that's an image. Now, Google has no idea if that's a pretty picture of dogs or anything like that. That doesn't tell Google that your website is about dog training. However, there are ways to use an image to tell Google what your website is about. Now, any image can be tagged with both a title and what is called an alt tag, and those are in text. And so if you're putting images on your website, you should give a title to each image, and you should use an alt tag in each image, because that's the place where you put the text where the Google bot can look to see what the image is about to help decide what your website's about. So if you've got a nice picture about a dog being trained, you might say dog training image, or you might say dog obedience school picture. And you can put the same in your alt tag as well. The alt tag is just a tag used commonly to help out people who are blind and might use screen software to read things off the screen, so that the alt tag will tell them what the image is about. So there's a few little tips about what you should be having in the code behind your website, and a little explanation of the reasons why. And so if you've got a website already, why don't you go along and have a look, right click, have a look at the source code that makes up your website, and see how yours is. It might be beautifully done, but then again it might not be. So have a look and use your newfound knowledge about title and description and keywords to see how your website stacks up. Thanks for listening.